going on here because
Hey.
we've got all sorts of shenanigans apparently going on. So we were invited to a Skype call. So we've got our next guest with us today, and they join us live here in our broadcast. So welcome to the program. How are you guys?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good, actually. I'm glad that we have got you guys with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast here on Twitch and iHeartRadio and all the other various places. The Milwaukees are with us today. And, gentlemen, go ahead and give us a brief introduction on you guys.
So we're the Milwaukees. We're from Jersey City. Rock band for about, 20 years. We're putting out our sixth record. Our sixth release is coming out. In August, we got a new single coming out. In a day or two, Jeff, and then we're chomping at the bit to get out there and play again, as every other act is.
Awesome. We've got the Milwaukees with us today. They join us live here on our big program, and so being out there in Jersey City of all places, I've been to New Jersey once. It was the strangest experience I've ever had. What is it like? What is it like playing music out there?
Where were you in New Jersey?
I was in Camden, New Jersey.
Well, okay. So the thing about New Jersey is there's at least 4 different New Jerseys, right?
Okay. Yes.
And Camden is really Philadelphia, so we're not even taking credit for that. I would say up where we are in Jersey City, Hoboken sort of used to be more of a hotbed, but it's great. And really, we're in the northern part of New Jersey, so you can throw a stone from Manhattan and hit our rehearsal space. But it's nice in New Jersey as opposed to Manhattan. Like, everybody in Manhattan seems to be looking around to see who else is there and whether it's cool or not. Whereas in New Jersey, people kind of just want to rock out, which is nice.
Well, when like I said, when I went to New Jersey, I had one of our photographers, Michael Nagy, was moving back to New Jersey. He was leaving Kansas and going to New Jersey, and he didn't want anybody to. Didn't want to. I guess he didn't want to drive the U-Haul by himself, so he recruited me to go with him. And I'm like, New Jersey, it's not a big deal. And so I get there, and it's like a whole other country.
For sure.
He takes me to this bagel shop where the woman who took our order. When she found out I wasn't from Jersey, she broke into what I believed to be a really bad Andrew Dice Clay impression. She went from helping the previous customer to, oh, what do you have? What do you have? I'm like, what? You were just talking normal to that guy 5 minutes ago. Why else? Then you found out I'm from somewhere else, and you got to give me the shtick, I guess. And he took me to the Jersey Shore and all these things, and just it was a strange experience. But I'm glad to know there are more than just one New Jersey. There's like 2 or 3 different New Jerseys.
At least.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Milwaukees are with us today here in our broadcast. So, how often do you guys, said you're called the Milwaukees, but you're from Jersey? How often do you get weird looks?
We don't really get too many weird looks. I mean, we've been around long enough, and actually, the cool thing is that people in Wisconsin are really cool. So if if you're out there and you're called the Milwaukees, they kind of already have a kinship with you. They want to know, they want to know more about you. So we've actually gained a lot of fans from the Milwaukee area, Wisconsin area. They're nice people, So that's the only thing we've ever gotten from it.
That Boston and Kansas and all those guys thought they were clever, but they didn't realize if they had named themselves after another city, they would have doubled their fan base instantly. That's the trick that we learned.
That's awesome. Now, you guys have been around for almost, a double decade, I'd say?
Indeed.
So what's been some different experiences you guys have had as musicians and everything?
I mean, geez, we can run the gamut. I mean, we've had, unfortunately, we've had former band members pass away. We've gotten kicked out of Canada.
Canada,
we-
another
we,
Canadian
those two
reference
were-
today.
Those were unrelated incidents.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We listen. If you're in a band that plays out and you've toured a lot, you know that it's not glamorous. And to maybe many of your friends, they think it is, but everybody gets to see the cool parts or the highlights. They don't get to see, sleeping on a weird floor in the middle of nowhere in Minot, North Dakota. That's what it's really about. Yeah.
We've had the experience of just like showing up to a show in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, thinking no one's going to come to see us headline a pretty sizable club, and then it sells out and we pack the place. And then we've also had the experience of playing like a outdoor festival where we get the hook so that a troupe of 6-year-old girl ballet dancers called the Frogs can come and play because it's their time to play.
Awesome.
So, we've pretty much
their
done it all.
time to play. That's great. So, why did you guys get kicked out of Canada? I always like Canadian stories for whatever reason. We always end up having musicians or porn stars or people on the show that are from Canada.
Yeah, well, the story is not as maybe glamorous as we like it to be. It's really a paperwork issue, right? So,
of course, that's always what it comes down to.
Yeah, our story was always that we were recording at Bryan Adams' studio in Vancouver, and allegedly we were, but they got me and they threw me in Canadian jail, which was one of the weirdest things of my life. I was in Canadian jail for a day.
Jail.
And then we went to a judge, which was kind of at a mobile in the middle of Manitoba or wherever we were, and I paid him some money, and they allowed me to go back. So it was really probably just a big scam. I don't know what kind of scam they're working up there with the Border Patrol, but that's what happened, and it was strange. And then we had to cancel our tour, which was a bummer. But yeah, getting arrested wasn't so bad.
That's awesome. The Milwaukees are with us today. They join us live here on our big program here on the Sunday radio broadcast, and they have a brand new album, basically their 6th overall. Tell me a little bit about this album and the fact that you guys have been able to be around long enough to make 6 albums, which there's a lot of rappers that I know that they don't even get a chance to get through their first mixtape.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we have gone through some lineup changes. I mean, Jeff and I have been together along with the bass player Donovan Cain. We've been together for a while now. Me and Jeff have been playing for 20 years together. We've had some rhythm section lineup changes. We started making the record in 2015, but then our former drummer, Pat Fusco, him and his family were moving to San Diego. So we went. Then we had to replace Pat, and then we finished up the record at another time. But really, the story of the record is that we just continue to make music because we're compelled to do so, and the songs keep coming. So we keep writing them and recording them, and that's basically my story about the record.
That's awesome. We have got the Milwaukees with us today. They join us live here on Skype audio. And so the 6th album, tell me a little bit about the writing process and all the different things that you guys did to put this album together.
Well, so the songs come, we get together at least once a week and we rehearse, and the songs come. I usually get the basis of the songs at home, and then we come in and we work them out. And really the writing, this is the first time I maybe leaned on the piano a little bit for melodies, and then the lyrics kind of came as they came. But everybody, the good thing about being in this band is that everybody has a say in what goes on. We all, are, individuals that come together and make music, and that's really the magic of it. Because as a guy who writes songs, I mean, you could put together a bunch of killer musicians, but it's never going to sound as good as the guys and your brothers that are in a band with you. And that's what we are. We're a real rock band that's played every dive in this country, and that means something. I think in this day and age, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but it does to us.
I think that the album title is The Calling, which has sort of several meanings. It's the title track it's the song to title of one of the songs on the record. But I think we realized late in the game when we decided to make it the album title that it sort of represented a little bit of where we're coming from. Like, this sort of just is our calling to do it and keep doing it. And we write and play music, like other people breathe and drink water. Like, it's just what we do. It's what we're compelled to do. And that's this record is kind of a manifestation of that.
Fantastic. The Milwaukees with us today. They join us live here on Skype audio to discuss their brand new album they've got out there. It's their 6th album, and they have been around for a heck of a long time, double-decade longevity. And so you guys have gotten, I'm sure, a lot of feedback over the years about your music. What's been some criticism, feedback, reviews, things like this?
I don't know, Jeff, you want to go for this?
We have, if you actually count the full discography, there was an early record called Sunset and Sunrise, which was more of a glorified demo. And I think that when we count 6 records, we don't even count that in there. But a European label re-released it some years back just because they were selling some of our other stuff and they wanted more. So they did it, and they sent it out for some press. And I think that the review that came back on that one was something like, it's not bad. It kind of sounds like the stuff you might write when you're in college and you're just trying to get girls. And Dylan sort of looked at me. He's like, hey, he's kind of got it about right. That was
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
We've matured some since then with the songwriting process, but it's sort of amazing when sometimes reviewers will have a real sort of hipster point of view, and we might be a little too polished for them or something like that, and they'll be snarky about it. And it's easy to sort of blow off the reviewer who's too cool for us. But then, every once in a while we get a semi-lukewarm kind of review, and he's actually kind of gotcha. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? I got to give him the point on that one.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. We've got the Milwaukees with us today. They join us live here in our broadcast. And what was it like when you guys first decided that this thing was probably going to pay off for you? The whole music thing.
Well,
I think we'll let you know when it really pays off. I mean, this is more. It reminds me of Spaceballs when they go into ludicrous speed and they can't stop because it's too dangerous. I think it's more of that kind of a situation with us than it finally paid off. This is just what we do.
When it pays off, you'll be invited to the party.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, tell us about Drink Soviet Champagne.
Well, that song's probably in the realm of 20 years old for sure. It's just a song that's very popular with the people that follow us. It's one of the early ones that kind of caught fire with us with touring and the older stuff. It's definitely one of the ones that we have in our catalog that people expect us to play all the time, and to just have a couple of those in your set is great as a band, because it's good to always pull them out, But yeah, I mean that song has always been there for us, and it's one of the ones I'm proud of it.
Fantastic.
I think that when that was on the first official record, Missile Command, and so we had the song called Missile Command, and we had a song called Cosmonaut, and then we had Soviet Champagne, and then we had When They Attack. And a lot of people were wondering what our problem was with the Russians at the time. And as it turned out, Missile Command was actually about the Atari game and Cosmonaut, I don't even know, it was just years old that it sounded cool. And I think, Dylan, you were reading a book about a Russian at the time or something like that, which inspired the lyrics on the first two. So there was a lot of people wondering, like, if we were obsessed with the Cold War or something around the time that record came out, which, I mean, we're not particularly.
Awesome. Well, the Milwaukees join us today here on our broadcast. So when do we get a chance to pick up the new record? Where do we get the new record? Everything.
So actually the first single off of the album drops on Friday. That's a song called "No Way Out," and it will be debuting a video, and it'll be available on all the streaming services starting Friday. The full album actually comes out later in August, I think the 21st or something like that. But pre-orders will start in July, and we'll be sort of dropping some pieces of it between here and there. So really, Friday's the big day for the No Way Out. It's the first single.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on the broadcast, and thanks for being with us, and really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Well.
Appreciate it. There they go, the Milwaukees, and we are going to play a tune from the Milwaukees right now. If YouTube will let me play it. If not. That is the Milwaukees. It's Drink Soviet Champagne. And it's here on your world famous Cheeky Channel.